Alright guys, so I'm sitting here editing a video for a client and I figured why not screen record and make a tutorial on some of these effects because I did drop a rotoscoping and Final Cut Pro video and I did like the reviews that I received, like the feedback, so thank you. A few people said I should do a little bit more. So yeah, let's dive right into the timeline of the actual video. You know what, I'll show you the first minute of it just so you guys can kind of see the style and the flavor that I'm going for. Here it is.
Hey, hey, TK, he having his out of bag. J-Boy, I know he got hold too. TK is out of bag. J-Boy, he having hold. Hey. Hey, TK got Zoddy bags. J-Bo, he having hoes. AF1 down the poncho, counting honchos. Big knots they won't fold. Saki keep calling, say he need a bigger load. What the fuck on my business phone? Load at the Superdome, he got them pictures in. Okay, cool, gotta get them gone. Bitch, I got work like the narcos. Spanish plugging eat cheese like a nacho. Kristen Denver, I think he a Bronco. Bang the sis, but I'm not from Toronto. Who won't smoke? I won't smoke like a Fonto. Let this Glock it beat him like a bongo. If I murk him, only me and God know. Unidentified bitch, I'm a John Doe. Hey.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Alright, that's all I'm gonna show. So you kind of get the gist. You kind of get the gist. I think the effect that I want to show is the effect that's at the beginning. It's a masking one where I pretty much masked out this lady in the raw sign and kind of made her do like a flip into position. So I think I want to go over that one. I actually got this effect from a popular videographer, director. His name is Shotbyjolo. He does a lot of videos in Florida. His work is crazy, man. I'm not going to lie. I always look at his videos like, damn, he's taking it to the next level. So I try to, take what I can from his videos, add my little style onto it, and, make a tutorial. And I think he uses Adobe. I use Final Cut. So a lot of people in Final Cut want to know how to do certain things that he's doing in Adobe. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Alright, so I went ahead and made a new project for both clips. We're going to take the second clip that we're masking and we're going to hold Option and slide up just to make a copy. We're going to go to the very first frame in that copy, hold Shift H to make a hold. We're going to trim that hold because we don't need that much. And then we're going to slide this over, or you don't have to, but I'm just sliding it over so that when I'm done with the mask I can see it. Alright, and then we're going to go over to our effects and type in mask. I've already done it. Drop a draw mask on top of the one that has the hold or the freeze frame. I like to zoom into 150. We're going to slide this down a little bit so I can see a little bit more of her. Then we'll move. If you hit this little red box in a rectangle, it'll allow you to slide through the actual clip. All right, and now I'm just going to go ahead and mask out what I want to mask out. And you know what? I'm not even going to speed through this because I want to show you guys that it does not take that long to mask. I don't even use curves in my mask, and I'm using a trackpad. Let's get it. And remember, guys, this does not have to be perfect because this mask is going to flip so fast that people aren't even going to be able to tell if it's a jagged edge or not. But, if you want to take your time with it, take your time with it. It does become pretty easy. Slide that up. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you ever want to get rid of one, Command Z to go back. Really simple. Now, if this wasn't going to be a, quick flipping mask, then I probably would take my time on some of this. But once you actually feather it, then you're good. Like I said, I'm not even going to skip through this. You can skip through it if you want to, if you feel like I'm taking too long. But it's only been about a minute, and I'm almost done. Just to show you guys that you are lazy, and masking does not take that long. A lot of people would have used curves on this. I don't like to use curves because I feel like it gives me a weird oval most of the time. So I just like to go ahead and add the points. That way I know directly where it is going. Almost done here. Let's go down a little bit. Bop, bop. make a mistake, Command Z. It's really not. I mean, once you know about Command Z, mistakes, you don't even really care about mistakes because you know you'll be able to reverse it. So you kind of move a little bit more free. People that are new to Final Cut Pro, they're probably scared to move because they don't realize how easy it is to undo. But anyway, I am done with the mask. It took me about 1.5 to 2 minutes. To get rid of the dots, you're going to hit this little purple pin over here in the effects. And then you'll add your feather. As you can see, the feather is going to smooth it a little bit, make your mask look a lot better. Alright, so now you want to position your mask outside of the actual frame. So go up to the percentage, and I like to put it on 25, that way I can see a little bit of the borders. And then you can go over here to this box, I don't know, maybe it's a frame. Click on the down arrow, go to transform, go on the frame or go on the actual screen and drag your mask to where you want it. I'm going to drag it down here. I'm going to grab a corner to make it smaller because I always want the first one to be smaller because the second one is going to be the actual size of the actual picture. Alright, so this is where I wanted to start. We're going to go up here and hit keyframe. It's in the top left hand corner. And you know what? Another thing, click on the actual clip down in the timeline and hit Control V. It's going to expand. Let's move this up a little bit so you can see the timeline. It's going to expand the actual clip, and now you can see your keyframes. You see how it's going away down here and it's coming back? That's because I added a keyframe. I noticed a lot of tutorial people or a lot of people that do tutorials, they say hit a keyframe and then nothing happens, at least not to new editors' minds. Nothing happens because they can't see anything. So when they expand it and they can actually see the keyframe, it allows them to know that, hey, this is doing this because of a keyframe. And being able to see the keyframes allows you to be able to understand like the timing of how your keyframe is actually moving. And you'll see what I mean. Okay, so anyway, we added one keyframe now that we have the mask down in position. And then we're going to go halfway through the clip. I clicked up here just to move my tracker there. And then we're going to move the actual masked subject up. And as you'll see, it has a red line. That means your keyframe is actually working. That's the motion that it's going to do. We're going to make this go up a little bit above the frame because it's going to be flipping. But don't add the flip just yet. Okay, and then we're going to move our key head or our play head towards the end of the frame. And then we're going to drag our actual subject back down out of the frame. And then now we're going to go over here to our effects. And then we're going to, just add a rotation. It doesn't have to be a full 360. Or actually, yes, it should be a full 360. But you don't have to really worry about the first mask that we're doing getting the actual rotation right, if that makes any sense. But you'll see what I mean in the end. So anyway, we're going to add a little bit of rotation to the object that is flipping so that it'll actually flip. And you want to make sure you add the rotation to the last keyframe, not the second one. Only to the last one. Skip the second one and only add rotation to the last one. That way, it'll kind of flip a little more freely, and you'll see what I mean. So if I hit done, I can now make this bigger so you can see the full screen. And you can now see, hey, she flipped. All right, guys. So to make the second girl flipping, we want to hold Option up to make a copy of the first one. And then, you know what, let's go ahead and disable the bottom one by hitting just V. And that way it doesn't confuse us. And then we're going to click on the top one that we just created and hold Control V so that it opens up. We'll get rid of those keyframes that we just made so that we can start from scratch. Okay, and then we're going to go over here to Transform. And then as you can see, the other one is down there at the bottom. But this time we want it to start, more over to the right. All right, so now that we have the second one where we want it to start, we want to add a keyframe. And then we want to go halfway through like the first one. Drag this up again. And then on this last keyframe, you know what, before we add this last keyframe, let's take that top clip and stretch it out a little bit over the original clip. And then that way we'll know where we need to bring this one down so that it matches. So we'll slide this one down, and then of course we will make it bigger so that it matches. Okay. And then also don't forget to add your rotation. That way it'll flip. And then stop it right there. And then we'll hit done. And then let's move this keyframe back a little bit. And then we'll trim this back down so that it's not over top of the original. And now when we watch it, it should look pretty good. There you go. All right, but that is not it. There's still a little bit more sauce. Let's go ahead and enable the bottom one again so you can see both. Flip, flip. Cool. You can play with the timing. You know, if you click on each clip and you Control V, you got that clip open, and then Control V the top one. Now you got both clips open. You can kind of, you know what, let's slide this up a little bit. You can kind of see where each keyframe lines up, and you can play with the timing by sliding these. All right? So now the last little sauce that you need to add, in my opinion, is motion blur. So what I would do is I would go and grab this motion blur pack. I can't even think of the name of it. But if you type in Final Cut Pro motion blur into YouTube, I'm sure you'll find a bunch of motion blurs. And we have them in our titles pack. Or you can even go to, if you have an adjustment layer, just drag an adjustment layer over top of this. And then go over here to effects and then drag motion blur on top of the adjustment layer, and it'll do the same thing. So anyway, now that we're going to add this motion blur that is really going to sell it, I'm going to let this render really fast so that the motion blur can work, because motion blur is pretty powerful. So I don't care how good your computer is. If you add too much motion blur on top of a bunch of other effects, then it will not work. But yeah, here is the final product. Wop, wop. There you go. And you can even go over here to your transform. I'm sorry, not transform, but transitions. Type in flash. You know what I mean? Add a little flash to this. Delete that bottom one. Shrink this a little bit. And this will give the transition from the mask to the original clip a little bit of flair, a little bit of personality, like this. Boom. Add a little flash sound effect. Man, y'all know what to do. All right, guys, so if you like that masking effect, leave a comment down below. Give me some feedback. If you saw some other effects in the actual video that you want me to go over, just leave a comment down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. You don't know how much it helps. Or maybe you do know how much it helps. Just subscribe, man. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Your boy only has 100. Let's get me to 1,000. And yeah, man, back with another video soon.